Oh, you gotta crank that voltage, son.
He doesn't really know how to weld that good.
Oh! Is that seawater? Look at this, dude. This is the most disgusting car I've ever touched. Hey, what do you guys think this thing's called right here? We dropped the string with a little nut welded to it so that we can make sure everything is centered, make sure the cross member is centered, make sure our transaxle mount is centered, because there's just a little bit of play between the frame rails, which is meant for it. What is this called? It's called a plumb bob? What did y'all call it? Plumb knocker?
Plumb knock something, I don't know. How'd you weld the string to it?
Sponge knocker.
You said it's welded? That's crazy, dude.
Did I say it's welded?
Yeah, you said you welded the nut to it.
Oh, yeah, it's well welded it. All right, tied this nut to the string. Anyways, it's centered up. We're gonna start putting some tacks on this thing. Yeah. One shot, brother. One take. Don't fuck it up. I have no idea how it's gonna weld. Good, bad. Tack easy, not tack easy. Oh, it tacks nice, dude. Hella nice. Getting her tacked, dude. Oh, I forgot to. Chris put the tool to remove the thread inserts, because this has thread inserts in it, in the box. So we gotta, once we pull this out, we can remove.
Oh, for before paint.
Well, right now, because we want to take the thread inserts out. We're done, right?
Yeah.
Well, we weld it. Probably better to have them out while everything gets crazy hot, I would imagine. All right, she's tacked. Let's take it out, I guess. Cool. Receivers here. Now time to remove the inserts. See, it's got the teeth on there. Tightened up the seam here a little bit to just make welding that little bit better. There's a slight gap.
The day has finally come. Matt and I have pretty much completed all of our to-do list tasks that needed to be completed before we send the C8 chassis off to paint. So that means all of the cutting and grinding and drilling and rib nutting and things that were mandatory, that, you know, for the things that we have here is complete. So next step is going to be to strip this thing down of all the parts, get it down to a bare chassis. I'm gonna do some cleanup. You know, there's some sharp edges in the webbing, things like this. So man, we've come a long way in the past few weeks. We've been working tirelessly on this, but yes, let me get this thing stripped down, and then we'll get it prepped to go onto our chassis rotisserie and send it over to Hector for paint. Hell yeah.
Blowing the car apart, getting it ready to go to paint, but Aeromotive water pump showed up. This is for Zendara's S14, but I was like, man, I bet that sucker will fit right on my radiator, and it does, right there, perfection, right in. We'll run this. This is cool. This is Aeromotive's own water pump fitting that'll go right in here, and then the 90, and it all clears. Just checked it, all clears everything. It clears the cowl, clears the hood, clears the shock tower, all of that. And this is Aeromotive's brand new water pump. It's a hefty beast, and it should outperform what we previously had going on here and kind of any other radiator mount water pump on the market. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's very impressive, and it's light and it's small and it's compact. Radiator mount's the way to go, and Aeromotive knocked it out of the park with this one. So sick, it just bolts on. Freaking awesome. Final steps. Subframes out, kind of things are slowly getting put away. So right now we're cleaning up the chassis, cutting all tabs and studs and smoothing corners and checking casting edges to make sure you don't catch your knuckles and get cut on, because once it's painted, you ain't taking a grinder to this freaking thing. But yeah, Alex just pointed something out. I'm over here cutting off stuff like these threaded tabs, and it's freaking weird when you see sparks coming off this chassis. Weird. Look. What? Sparks? What the hell? An important part to building a race car, which I think a lot of people overlook, is deburring the chassis. And there are a lot of sharp spots, especially on this car, but you would be surprised on a lot of cars. All this casting stuff, the majority of it is nice. Like this edge, very nice and smooth. Zero issues at all. But look at that sucker right there. That little hanging tab of death. That's what opens you up when you're in thrash mode. Not paying attention, just busting your knuckles, thrashing, trying to get the upper arm back on. You open yourself up. So we go around the entire chassis with a flap disc and smooth it out. Yeah, that was a straight piece of casting. Bad. All in here too. There's bound to be a sharp spot. So I do my due diligence and I run my hands. Oh yeah, right here. Look at that. That's gnarly. I run my hands along the whole chassis, every inch of it, and find this nice sharp spot and smooth it out. Alex over here doing the same thing. It is a lot. There's a lot of sharp edges, but it's worth it. Okay, chassis is smooth, stripped. We are getting our makeshift rotisseries. Built this for the C6 in a matter of like 30 minutes. All scrap pieces of tubing, completely shit, but it got the job done. I had an actual like wheeled rotisserie, and it was so big, it took up so much room, and it was so heavy, and it was a pain in the ass to maneuver. So these, like, you wheel it on the dolly, you get it where you want to, you just lift the chassis up, slide these pegs on, you're good to go. We got Alec over here, doesn't know how to weld, and welding with no gloves. Killing it. And we just bolted this piece off the back. We're gonna weld a piece of 1.5 inches that will receive into there, and this will be done. The front is okay. Getting the makeshift rotisserie done. This front piece is actually from the C6. We're just adding on a couple of things to bolt to the front. We did this beam in the back right here. We'll get a piece of 1.5 inches welded, and that will go into our little makeshift rotisserie pieces. I had a big rotisserie, wheeled, nice, long, heavy duty. It was a pain in the ass to maneuver. It was heavy, didn't want to go on and off trailers. It sucked. So what we do now is we're just gonna set this thing on the dolly, get it to where it needs to get. Then you just simply lift it up and slide these right on the little dick right here that we'll have welded. Drill a couple of holes for it and it'll be done. And then same thing with the front. This one is the C6 piece, and it'll just go right on that sucker. Oh, you gotta crank that voltage, son. Gotta crank that voltage. Try again. Crank that voltage.
He doesn't really know how to weld that good.
I don't know how to weld at all.
He's trying. Oh, listen to that. That sounds good now. Voltage too low, dude. Nice, nice. Yeah, there you go. That thing's ripping now. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Respin it like Wheel of Fortune? No. No.
Yeah.
Aw, man. All right, let's see if the roof hits.
we looking, Chow?
You haven't crashed yet. Oh, there's
There's so much sand pouring out.
sand.
Oh, the chassis hits the dolly at 90 degrees. But we could pull it out a bit.
Yeah, true. True. But I think
That's kind of cool.
this
It's a bump stop.
it's kind of a safety because otherwise this is going to
Oh
hit.
yeah.
You can just let go.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd go further forward so the
Yeah.
frame's a bump stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't wreck
I think
that.
we should go all the way and then
Right.
because otherwise this is hitting this if you go all the way around.
Okay. Yeah, that's chill.
Delete this part.
That's chill.
On God.
On go. On. OMG.
On G.
Okay, you gonna come towards me?
You kick it. Kick it now.
There we go. Then let her go. Yeah, that's safety.
That's
Safety, brother. Huh. Wow.
Look, you even notched it out for that.
Wow. All right, let's load it up. Maybe you go on that side of the door bar too and we'll just pull. Okay everybody, this is it. The C8 is heading to paint. Just got it out of the shop, got it loaded in the trailer, bringing it to Hector at Auto Body Plus. And at the same time, we're picking up the C6 because it went back to him for a little bit more frame straightening. He did really good after Irwindale before Grid Life. He had 1 day to straighten it out. So this time he made it perfect. Rails level, cosmetically pleasing, all of that. He got to spend about a week with it. So better for him and perfect timing because we just finished this up. I welded one little last minute tab on the hoop because it got forgotten, but yep, she's ready to go. So headed your way, Hector. Didn't even film because we were so excited, but the C6 is back. Thank you, Hector. Have a good night. See you soon. He's gonna get the C8 painted, but he got this thing completely straightened out after my little mess up at Irwindale. Frame rail is perfect. Needs some paint, that's for sure. And we're gonna weld some reinforcements to do some stuff. But now it's time to switch gears a little bit and, sorry, out of breath, put in the car in the trailer and run around. Switch gears a little bit, start focusing on the C6. Get that thing back together, get ready to do testing. Because Hector's gonna have the C8 probably 2 weeks, I'm guessing. Because that thing's gonna be painted to perfection, glossy all the way around every single tube, and drippy. So thank you so much, Hector. Can't wait to see the C8 soon. Let's go.